What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from MTG Headquarters. Look at me, I'm rocking a t-shirt. A Magic t-shirt. It's probably the first time any of you see me wearing a t-shirt, and I'm sure I'll give you guys a minute to recompose yourselves, as I'm sure you're overwhelmed with sexual attraction. But anyway, this is the week before pre-release, and I generally dedicate a ton of time to preparing you guys to have your best chance of success in this weekend. Now, it's important to understand that winning isn't everything. And I'm sure some of you muttered under your breath, it's the only thing just there. But pre-release is about making friends and playing with the new cards and having fun and all these other things. If you're like me, you also want to win. I probably wouldn't care as much about winning if I could just buy a booster box the week early, but I'm always excited to get any sealed product from the new set so I can open it up for you guys. So for today's prep video, I thought I would talk a little bit about how I build sealed pools, and then we'll generate a few sample sealed pools just to get a feel for it. Now, generally when I open my 6-packs, I don't spend any time reading the cards. The first thing I do is separate out all my rares, and I check out my rares first of all. Then I color sort everything, because I would say the vast majority of times when I'm playing any sealed pool, when you line everything up, you'll see that there's one or two color combinations that clearly have the most playables. It's not, with sealed, it's really not about playing, about forcing anything. It's about playing the cards that you have. And we can't control that. In any sealed pool, put it this way, you're going to be playing people who have mythics. You will likely have a mythic. And so you want to kind of really play around the power level of your cards and play your most powerful that you open. So once I sort everything by color, I generally look at, not to oversimplify, but what do I have the most of? And I'll look at it. And I'll look at any notable uncommons I might have in those colors, removal, the creature spells, and then I'll usually cut 2 or 3 colors immediately, take them from the main pile and put them off to the side. Then I'll work with the top 3 colors I have and look at my rares and see what kind of power levels I have. For sealed, I also heavily value non-conditional removal, meaning simply kill a creature, exile a creature, and I almost always play that. Combat tricks are far a distant second to unconditional removal, in my opinion. A word to the wise too. Something that I've learned over many years of playing sealed Magic. You want to save your unconditional removal until you absolutely have to use it. Don't blow it early. Don't be afraid to take some damage. Remember, your life is a resource. So don't be quick to bust off a removal spell early. Try to stabilize. Try to build around it. Try to outclass that creature you might need to remove before using it. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. The board state is going to stall, and eventually they're going to play a fatty that you simply cannot deal with, and you're going to wish you had that removal spell all along, or late. So the more disciplined you can be with your removal, the better chance you have to survive the late game. Now, if you have a hyper-aggressive deck and you're trying to just push through damage and you're just blowing off removal spells and using combat tricks, fine. But in general, board stall is a thing in sealed, and especially at pre-release, because there will be many, many large Eldrazi creatures out there. So I would err on the side of caution when when using your unconditional removal, and I would also prioritize it or even splash for it. Oftentimes, I'll play 2 main colors and splash a third for either a bomb or some really good removal. To me, in sealed, if you have 2 pieces of unconditional removal in a color you're not playing, it's probably worth splashing for it. There's lots of fixing in Oath of the Gatewatch, so my guess is you should be able to play 2 or 3 colors relatively comfortably. Again, there are advantages to playing 2 colors, or obviously mono, but most people aren't going to play monocolor. There are advantages to the 2 color because you have less variance and you have to worry less about having the right mana to cast the spells you need to cast. But let's get right into some sample pools and see. And I thought maybe sharing some of what I'm thinking of when I look at these pools might be useful. So let's generate our first pre-release set. All right, let's see what we have. Our promo is a Tyrant of Valakut. That is not great. But when it enters the battlefield, if Surge cost is paid, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. It's a 5/4 dragon for 7. I mean, it's not great. But it is what it is. I love that purple die, or blue spin down die, though. I'm happy to get that. Then, like I talk about, let's sort by rarity first. So we have Call of the Gatewatch, search your library for a Planeswalker. Obviously good if we're in white and we're playing, if we're in some 2-color combination with white and we have a Planeswalker. Otherwise, that's a really dud rare to open. Let's check our... Oh, baby. Okay. So Oath of the Gatewatch Booster 1. In Booster 2, we have a foil Kozilek's Return and Adrana's Chosen. So very interesting. I think red-black is going to be very strong in this archetype. You also have a Grasp of Darkness, which is super premium removal. Very happy to see that. Now our Oath of the Gatewatch booster, woo, Dust Bowl. I find that these generators tend to put expeditions in a little too much. But if I were to open an expedition on pre-release, that's a very good thing. Our rare is a Needle Spires. Fine. I generally really don't like rare lands in sealed, but it is what it is. Here's another Oath of the Gatewatch booster here of Hissing Quagmire. So we have more fixing. So we definitely have the fixing. We have red, white, black, green. We have a Dust Bowl to generate colorless mana. And we're in our Battle for Zendikar, and our rares and Ugin's Insight. Our next Battle for Zendikar, we have a Painful Truths, Ruination Guide, Herald of Kozilek, Nettle Drone. This is very good red-blue Devoid pack. And that is all of it. So when I'm looking through these, I like what we have going on in red-blue Devoid in the battle packs, especially with Pilgrim's Eye, Touch of the Void. But the Oath packs aren't that great in the Devoid. I mean, Mauve Kozilek's okay. It's actually not bad. We have tons of fixing, though, with Cinder Barons, Needle Spires, Dust Bowl. I think red-black is still pretty good with Kozilek's Return, Adrana's Chosen, Grasp of Darkness. This is kind of a tough pool, but we have a Flare Drone here too, which is pretty good. Eldrazi Aggressor is pretty good. Unnatural Endurance, nice combat trick. I might try to play red-black, and then I play this Tyrant begrudgingly. It's really not a great pool, but that's what I'm thinking. If I could put all these cards together and look at them, you know, I might play white, but we also have stuff like Walker of the Wastes that we can play here. It's a colorless creature, and it's totally versatile. What I'm looking for, an ideal pool for me, is going to be like mostly one color and splashing Eldrazi, colorless creatures. Like Unknown Shores here, we have lots of ways to generate. So as you can see, we have many ways to generate colorless mana. I'm not too worried about being able to generate it, even though we're not getting wastes as part of our land station land. Embodiment of Fury is pretty good. Pyromancer's Assault, Tears of Valakut, all pretty good. Kozilek's Translator, pretty mediocre stuff, but we have Kozilek's Pathfinder here. So, yeah, I think I try to go with red-black, and it's not really devoid, it's just red-black good stuff. Let's generate another pool. I think this process is really good. It helps you really understand. Okay, so here we are, pre-release number 2. We've cracked our box. What is our promo? It's Seagate Wreckage. Great way to add colorless and pay 2 and a colorless tap. Draw a card. Only if you have no cards in hand, so probably not playable in pre-release unless you want it to just generate wastes or colorless lands. Our first pack of Oath. We have a Mirror Pool, Mythic Land. This is a great pull. Super versatile land. You can sack it, copy target instant or sorcery spell. You can pay 4, pay a waste. Sack it, put a token on battlefield that's a copy of target creature you control. Very powerful. Havoc Sower. Very, very good, I think. Late game stuff like that you can dump mana into is great. That's why like Sludge Crawler is so good in this format. It's a 1-mana 1/1 with Ingest is great, but late game you can make it a 6/6 or a 7/7 if you have nothing else to do with it. And that's why I like Havoc Sower. And we have Sky Scourer. Good stuff there. We have a Waste. Whoa, another expedition. Back-to-back expeditions. I'll take that. And here we have a Hedron Alignment. Terrible rare to open and sealed. I mean, I guess you can play it if you want to have Scry on a stick. I think that's probably worth playing in a control build. Thought Harvester, 2/4 flying with Devoid. Very good. Because whenever you cast a colorless spell, target opponent exiles the top card of his or her library. Very powerful. Our next pack, we have Fall of the Titans. Definitely a card I want to be playing in Two-Headed Giant. It is not a bad card to play in any red deck. I don't think I would splash for it. Notable cards here, we have a second Thought Harvester. So 2 Thought Harvesters. Almost definitely, when I'm opening these packs and I'm looking at that, I'm like really thinking about playing blue at this point. Roiling Waters is very good. Cliffhaven Vampire is also good. Next pack, we have another Expedition. Oh my god. 3 Expeditions and 2 pre-releases. I'm doing great. But of course, the Expedition rate, again, is still too much in this generator. But of many generators out there, I've been using this one the longest. And I just like the layout of it the best. Here's a very interesting pool. I'm very happy. I'm looking at an Ancient Tomb, which is great. We have a Grip of the Royal, a Flaying Tendrils, which is definitely premium removal. Comparative Analysis, Slaughter Drone. I'm definitely thinking black-blue at this point. Going through. And now we can do our Battle for Zendikar packs, and woo! We hit a Drana. Black-blue, we are going black-blue guaranteed. I don't even have to. Here's a Complete Disregard. Now, the only question is if we're going to go 3 colors is how I'm looking at this pool. Last pack, we have a Ruinous Path and a Ruination Guide. Sick pool. I'm looking at this pool. Here we go. Dominator Drone, Tightening Coils. This is an excellent pool. The only question is, do I want to go... As I'm looking at this pool, I'm thinking I might want to go black, blue, red because I see a Vile Aggregate, Kozilek Sentinel, another Kozilek Sentinel, a Turn Against, a Consuming Sinkhole, We have fixing with the Cinder Barons. Yeah, I think I go black, blue, red here. I definitely splash red for the Fall of the Titans now. Yeah, I think black, blue, red is where I'm trying to go here. Black, blue is pretty good, but I think my gut says black, blue, red. I think you get rewarded to be a little greedier in sealed, especially in pre-release. Now let's go for our third pre-release. Here we are. It's Saturday night. It's 4 p.m. I'm trying to get this last pre-release in before the Packers season ends to the Arizona Cardinals. Let's go. Let's see what we get. All right. So the red spin down. All right. And we have a Sylvan Advocate as our promo. 2/3 with Vigilance as long as you control 6 or more lands. Sylvan Advocate and land creatures you control get +2/+2. That's pretty good. A 2/3 for 2 is actually very, very good in this format. And late games becomes a 4/5, which is really good. And if you played some sort of green-blue Awaken deck, it becomes really, really good. Let's go right to our first pack. Here we have a Joran Rune Diver. A lot of 2-color cards in this pool. Not really happy to see that in pack 1. Baloth Null, Relentless Hunter, all these 2-color cards are fine, but it really limits. Now the follow-up packs have to be really in these colors, but lots of Eldrazi in this pack. Next pack we have an Oath of Gideon. Not good. Grasp of Darkness, I like what we're seeing in black so far. Maybe black-green as I'm kind of looking at it, or black-red with all the Eldrazi we have here. You know, Consuming Sinkhole, Sky Scourer is probably okay. You know, a 1/2 flyer for 2. If you're heavy in the Eldrazi, it's basically always going to be a 2/2 flyer every turn or most turns. So 2/2 flyer for 2 is good value. And again, it's sealed, so evasion is really, really important. We have a Seer's Lantern here. Our next pack of Oath of the Gatewatch is a Crush of Tentacles as our rare. Very good. It's not fitting in our pool right now. Not really. I don't have anything really in blue that I want to play, so this is kind of a dud pack. We do have a Cinder Barons for fixing. We have an Isolation Zone if we want to play white, but I'm still thinking Devoid. That pack is kind of not great for us. Allied Reinforcements, I don't know how good this card is going to be. That's kind of a bummer pack. Let's go our next Oath. All right. We have our Eldrazi Obligator. 3/1 for 2. Very happy to see that. Followed by some nice uncommons with Essence Depleter. So red, black. And I think red, black, Devoid is going to be one of the better draft formats. Oh, by the way, there's also a Flare Drone in here. This is a mega home run pack for a red, black, Devoid. I'm very happy to see this pack. Reality Hemorrhage is here. Very, very happy to see this pack. We needed this pack to keep the deck going. Now we're into the 2 Battle for Zendikar packs, which have a lot of good red, black, Devoid. So let's see what we have. A Quorum Hellkite in our first pack. You play it. It's sealed. It's a 4/4 flyer. You know, there are better creatures to play for 6 mana, but it's still pretty good. Coastal Discovery is good. Here we have a Dominator Drone. I guess we only have 2 playables in this pack, which isn't great. Our last pack, another Expedition. So at least we know we're making tons of money. Again, don't mind the Expeditions. An Undergrowth Champion is very good. Kozilek Sentinel. This is a real mediocre pool. However, let's say hypothetically we did get the Stomping Ground. I thought I saw another red-green land somewhere. Here's a red-black land. I guess I didn't. I might play red-black-green. Why? Because it opens up both Baloth Null and Relentless Hunter from our first pack, and these 2-color uncommons are really strong. Undergrowth Champion, obviously being a mythic, is very, very strong, and I generally want to try to play my mythics. But it's a double green, so it's a little risky of a splash. It's not really a splash. I might want to just see what red-black looks like. If I have enough to get there with red-black, I'd probably just play it. But if I can find a way to get Undergrowth Champion in here, I mean, the Stomping Ground is nice, but I don't know if I have enough fixing. I don't see any... I think this pool is definitely red-black, but I might consider green. So I thought, like, sharing my sealed pool thought process might help you get your head around in the right... be thinking about the right combinations for your pre-release sealed pool builds. And I'm going to put a link to this tool in the description below. I think generating, I mean, you don't have to sit there and generate hundreds of pools because, again, it's just hypothetical, but it helps you get your mind around the cards you're going to see and the kind of decks you want to build. And in pre-release, with only 20 minutes or so to build your decks, knowing the cards that go together, knowing what some sample pools look like, I think really puts you on a level above your competition. Again, more than 50% of your success or failure on pre-release is going to come from the cards you open, and of that you have zero control. So, this is advice for, opening your pools. If you open a great pool, a lot of times you open up sealed pools and the deck just builds itself. But there are other times where you really have to stretch. Even though the deck doesn't build itself for you, knowing the powerful cards you want to play, and if you have the fixing, you can still build a very competitive pre-release deck and have your chance at winning at least a couple of packs and having some success. So I hope that this sealed pool, these sealed pool generators, and my thought process around how I build them will help you have a more successful pre-release and more successful Oath of the Gatewatch sealed deck experiences. Thanks for watching this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. What's up, and thanks for watching this video. I produce all different kinds of content, so if you haven't yet, click on my face to subscribe. If you want to watch more videos, I've got some sweet playlists, including this one, where I open up every fat pack ever created. I've also got this one over here where I open just about anything vintage and old and expensive for your enjoyment. And all this is made possible by the awesome backers at our Patreon, which is linked in the description of every video. Hop on over there, check it out, see if it's something you might want to consider. If not, sit back, enjoy, and I'll still love you.